What's up, my comic comrades? We hope you are all enjoying the holiday season. Today we are giving the spotlight to a character who is one of the strongest that Marvel has to offer and definitely needs more recognition, and that would be Blue Marvel. More specifically, we're going to dive into his comic book history and take a look at just how powerful Blue Marvel has been shown to be. But before we can do that, it's important to give you guys some context on the character, so let's do that with a look at his origin. Blue Marvel's origin story is given to us in Adam Legend of Blue Marvel issue 4. In the issue, Adam Brashear, aka Blue Marvel, tells Mr. Fantastic and Iron Man how he got his powers. He tells them, "I was a scientist working on a project creating new energy source by harnessing antimatter." Mr. Fantastic says, "Impossible, too unstable, and antimatter can't be stored." Adam responds, "So they say. During the initial test run of my negative reactor, the laboratory exploded." Connor, who was part of Army intelligence at the time, was present for the demonstration. After all, they were funding the project. The negative reactor then blew up with Connor pulling out Adam. As he says, "To this day, I don't know how, but Connor and I were the only ones that survived. He pulled me out without care for his own safety. The antimatter disintegrated him right before my eyes. As for me, I became something more than human, and the Blue Marvel was born." He then finally says, "You were wrong, Dr. Richards. I was able to create a stable antimatter reactor. You're looking at him," meaning Blue Marvel is a living antimatter reactor and generator. Because of this, Blue Marvel has the ability to control, generate, and manipulate antimatter, meaning he's extremely powerful. A simple drop of antimatter can power all of New York City for 24 hours, and this dude controls, generates, and manipulates it. This power allows him to shoot pure solidified beams of antimatter that can almost destroy anything. He can also shoot these beams from his eyes, much like Superman's heat vision. Dude can straight up manipulate his antimatter and turn them into energy constructs like he's a Green Lantern. That's right, anything he imagines or sees, he could form into an antimatter energy construct. Or, he can just focus antimatter on his fist, so almost anything he punches completely shatters. Blue Marvel can even go full Super Saiyan, creating a massive surge or aurora of antimatter around his whole body, and then release it in a huge omnidirectional pulse, which let's just say wouldn't be good for anyone in the vicinity. Blue Marvel obviously possesses invulnerability, specifically 9 vulnerability, very similar to that of Sentry, meaning he has no physical weakness. Dude can straight up withstand tremendous impact and forces from basically anything, such as explosions, high caliber bullets, extreme cold, and heat. He can straight up walk away from a nuclear explosion with no damage. Again, he has no physical weakness. With that said, if someone is able to injure him, he also has a healing factor. He also has immeasurable strength. Blue Marvel possesses strength on par or greater than Hulk, Sentry, and Thor. The truth is, he's potentially the strongest hero on planet Earth. Then obviously Blue Marvel has super speed, flight, superhuman agility, superhuman reflexes, superhuman senses, and the list goes on for days. He's basically one of those characters where you name it, he's got it. But now let's take a look at some of the things he's done with all of those powers. First up is the time he soloed Anti-Man in Adam Legend of Blue Marvel issue 1. For those of you who aren't familiar with Anti-Man, we mentioned him earlier, and his real name is Connor Sims. He's the former best friend of Blue Marvel. Connor was the friend that saved Adam from the negative reactor, and much like Adam, he gained extraordinary powers, becoming a living antimatter reactor. Although unlike Adam, he's unstable, which affects his mental health, making him see the world different, leading him down the path to become a villain, Blue Marvel's arch nemesis. Anyway, in issue 1 of Adam Legend of Blue Marvel, Anti-Man is trying to level New York City, and the Avengers, which include a roster of Iron Man, Ms. Marvel, Wonder Man, the Wasp, Black Widow, Yellow Jacket, Ares, Sentry, and She-Hulk, cannot beat him. Did you hear that roster? The combined might of Sentry, Ares, She-Hulk, Wonder Man, Ms. Marvel, and more cannot stop or defeat Anti-Man. Sentry tries to punch him, but Anti-Man just has enough, catching his fist before knocking him out. And he basically does the same to Ares, the God of War, Iron Man, and the rest of the Avengers. Dude is soloing this incredible Avengers roster. So as he continues to solo the heroes, he says he's planning to bring salvation to the planet. At which point, Blue Marvel finally shows up saying, "I can't let you do this, Anti-Man." The two then get into an epic fight, trading blows before Blue Marvel gets so pissed, he says, "I'm through playing games, Connor. Whatever happens now, you brought this on yourself. I don't want to hurt you, but you have to be stopped." And once the ashes and debris clear, we see that's exactly what Blue Marvel did, dragging Anti-Man's body out of the wreckage. So again, the combined forces of freaking Sentry, Ares the God of War, She-Hulk, Iron Man, Yellow Jacket, and more could not defeat Anti-Man, but Blue Marvel was able to do it alone. That's how powerful this dude is.
We're always on the lookout for great art pieces, and one of our go-tos is today's sponsor, Upper Deck. Upper Deck Gallery is a portfolio of premium limited edition prints that feature artwork of fan-favorite comic and movie characters. Each limited edition print is hand-numbered and includes a corresponding certificate of authenticity from Upper Deck. Amongst all their selections, the regular editions are numbered to 250, and the more rare variant editions are numbered to 100. In fact, here are a couple of great prints Upper Deck sent over for us to show you guys. These are 18 by 24-inch gallery prints featuring Thor and the Hulk. The first is titled The Mighty Thunder God versus the Incredible Hulk, and the variant is the World Breaker versus Thor Odin's son. The artist on these pieces is Ariel Olivetti, and they pull from the forgotten fight between the Jade Giant and Thor in the classic 1963 Avengers #3. This fine art limited edition reveals what really happened in the abandoned World War II caverns. Not to mention they are printed on 100% cotton archival 300 GSM paper, and both versions make a great addition to any Thor or Hulk collection. They also sent these 18 by 24-inch gallery prints titled Infinity Gauntlet Act 1, featuring icons such as Captain America, Thor, and the Hulk. The artist is Crystal Faye, and both are printed with an offset on a patterned foil board. This limited edition print is a great addition to your collection as well, and can be paired up with the Infinity Gauntlet Act 2 gallery print. And you can grab these gallery prints and more online at upperdeckgallery.com or by using our link in the description.
But let's keep going. The comic then takes us back to the Pentagon War Room in August of 1962, where a bunch of people there, including the secretary, are breaking down to the president and others who Blue Marvel is and just how powerful he is. Someone actually asks, just how powerful is he? How do you even measure these things? As the secretary begins to show the footage, saying, well, he's been in outer space. He helped us out with that meteor. The science boys say that rock was easily the size of Arkansas. No exaggeration. That's right, this dude lifted up a meteor the size of Arkansas. To put that in perspective, the state of Arkansas is roughly 53,000 square miles, and Blue Marvel was able to lift/push a meteor that size away from Earth. But let's keep going, because that's what this episode is all about, proving how strong he is. The secretary then says when the Enterprise was damaged in the Pacific, he lifted the damn thing out of the water and flew it all the way home. For those of you who don't know, he's referring to the USS Enterprise aircraft carrier that weighs roughly 94,000 tons. And Blue Marvel lifted that out of the water and flew it home as if he was just carrying a bag of groceries. The secretary gives us one last example, saying, and don't forget that hydrogen bomb incident. It malfunctioned and he got it into the air and out of harm's way just before it exploded in his hands over the Atlantic. That's right, not only did he lift and fly a massive hydrogen bomb away to safety, it blew up right next to him without 1 ounce of damage to him. Then in issue 3 of the same series, we see Blue Marvel just chilling on the moon, staring at Earth, contemplating life while he's holding the President's Medal of Freedom that was given to him many years ago. He then starts talking to the Watcher, who came to have a conversation with him. And then out of a fit of anger, Blue Marvel throws the medal down into the moon. This creates a massive crater, and the Watcher tells him, you realize you could have split the moon in two. That's right, the Watcher just said that Blue Marvel is so strong that him gradually throwing the medal into the moon could have split it in half. Do I really need to explain why that's crazy? After this, the Watcher and Blue Marvel spot an alien invasion force, with the Watcher telling Marvel they could annihilate your entire planet, but he just replies, not on my watch, as he flies up to the Armada and solos the entire alien armada within seconds. We're talking about a fleet comparable to the Empire in their Star Destroyers from Star Wars, and Blue Marvel just took all of them out within seconds. Wasn't even trying. Then in issue 4 of Adam Legend of Blue Marvel, Namor and Blue Marvel get into a quick little fight, with Namor punching Marvel in the gut, and Marvel returning the favor across Namor's face. And Namor said, in all these years since, only Thor and the Hulk have ever struck me that hard. Which is crazy, because Blue Marvel wasn't even trying. It was just a normal punch. He didn't put any antimatter charge or anything behind it, just a normal punch. That's just downright silly. Then in issue 5 of the same series, Blue Marvel comes into confrontation with the Avengers roster from the first issue. At which point, Wonder Man, Miss Marvel, and Ares start attacking him, but Sentry shows up, punching Blue Marvel back, saying, all of you stand back. He wants to show how much power he has, I'll show him power. Sentry then proceeds to tackle Blue Marvel, saying, I've heard it before, claiming to be the victim because the world did you wrong, because your life didn't go as planned. That was me. I lost my life because I was weak, afraid to let up for an instant because of what I had inside of me, as he continues to lay into Blue Marvel. But Sentry punching and laying into Blue Marvel only pisses him off, with the Sentry finally saying, now stay down before I really get ticked off. Blue Marvel then gets up saying, ticked off? I've got your ticked off, as he punches Sentry into space. At which point Wonder Man in shock says he put Sentry into orbit with one punch. Now that is completely and utterly insane. Sentry is one of the most powerful superheroes in all of comics. A lot of people argue he could defeat Superman, and Blue Marvel one-shotted him into damn orbit, outer freaking space. But you guys know how we do. We gotta save the best one for last, and this last feat easily demonstrates why Blue Marvel is probably the strongest superhero Marvel has to offer. And the feat I'm talking about comes from Defenders Beyond issue 2, where we see Blue Marvel one-shot a Beyonder. Hear me, Blue Marvel one-shotted a mother freaking Beyonder. For those of you who don't know, Beyonders are omnipotent. They're from another plane of existence, and just so we're on the same page here and there's no ambiguity, omnipotent means having unlimited power, able to do anything. Only gods are described as omnipotent and benevolent. And Blue Marvel one-shotted an omnipotent being, a Beyonder. He straight up flew into the Beyonder's head and just came out the other side, shattering it. Loki then asks, what was that? I thought we were the underdogs. Blue Marvel responds, They're clothed in matter. I am a living antimatter reactor. Basically, in a roundabout way, saying he controls matter and Beyonders are made of matter, meaning he wins. This comic is only a few months old, and when I first read this, I couldn't believe it. I was beside myself. You gotta realize, guys, the Beyonder was responsible for the Secret Wars. In fact, in the 2015 Secret Wars story, Dr. Doom became God Emperor Doom, displaying unlimited power after he stole the power of the Beyonders, making him one of the most OP characters ever. So to see Blue Marvel one-shot a Beyonder is insane. It also makes you ask the obvious question, where was Blue Marvel during the Secret Wars events? Regardless, with all this considered, it is crystal clear that Blue Marvel is top 5, maybe even top 3 most powerful superheroes, not just for Marvel, but in all of comic books. Which makes it remarkable that we don't see more of him. Who knows, maybe Marvel will hook us up with another Blue Marvel solo series in the near future. But what do you guys think of the character? Let us know down in the comments. And that's gonna bring today's episode to a close, but if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out this one right here. And if you like all of our content, like, subscribe, and comment. It helps out the algorithm. But other than that, I'll see you guys next time when we talk about all things comics.